Think about how the world's most successful people view failure. They don't avoid it, they embrace it. They don't fear it, they seek it out, knowing it's where growth and learning happen. Failure to them is nothing more than valuable feedback. It shows them exactly what doesn't work, points toward what does, and pushes them forward. In fact, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's an essential part of success. You simply can't have one without the other. But here's the challenge. Most people have been conditioned to view failure negatively. They fear embarrassment, disappointment, or criticism, and because of that, they avoid taking risks. And when you avoid risk, guess what else you avoid? Opportunity, growth, progress, success itself. The truth is simple. If you're not failing occasionally, you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. You're probably not growing. How powerful it would be if you changed your relationship with failure completely. What if you stopped fearing it and instead used it as a tool, as motivation, as fuel? Imagine how different your decisions would be. You take more chances, try new ideas, and push past your comfort zone consistently. And in doing so, your life would change dramatically. You'd discover new opportunities, strengths you never knew existed, and success far greater than you imagined possible. Not because you avoided failure, but precisely because you embraced it. Today, we're going to talk about how you can turn failure into fuel for success, how to rethink failure, learn deeply from setbacks, build incredible resilience, turn setbacks into setups, swing and create a mindset of continuous improvement. The question is simple. Are you ready to shift your mindset and start leveraging failure as your greatest ally? If you are, then today will mark a turning point. Not because you'll never fail again, but because when you do, you'll know exactly how to use it. Your greatest setbacks are about to become your greatest successes. Let's begin. From a very early age, we're taught that failure is something negative, something to be ashamed of, something that defines us in the wrong ways. And because of this, most people spend their entire lives trying desperately to avoid failing, thinking that if they just avoid mistakes, they'll somehow guarantee success. But here's the fascinating truth I've discovered after years of observing successful people. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It isn't even a distraction from success. Failure is, in fact, a critical part of success. It's essential, valuable, and incredibly powerful if you use it the right way. Here's what most people don't realize. Every great success story is a story of repeated failures. Think about anyone you admire, an entrepreneur, an athlete, an artist, a leader. Their journey wasn't smooth, perfect, or easy. They didn't succeed because they never failed. Quite the opposite. They succeeded because they failed repeatedly, persistently, and intentionally. They tried, they stumbled, they learned, and they got back up stronger and wiser each time. The path to success isn't a straight line. It's a winding road filled with setbacks, obstacles, and disappointments. But each failure along the way isn't a step backward. It's a step forward if you see it and use it correctly. Imagine for a moment a young child learning to walk. Every attempt to stand, to step forward, ends in failure at first. The child falls again and again, sometimes painfully. But have you ever seen a child give up? Have you ever seen a child think, "This failure defines me"? Of course not. Children instinctively understand something that many adults have forgotten. That failure isn't permanent, and it certainly isn't personal. It's simply part of the learning process. It's natural, expected, and necessary. Each failure brings clarity, strength, and improvement. And eventually, Through repeated attempts and repeated failures, that child learns to walk, then run, then leap. Yet, somewhere along the way, we forget this truth. We become conditioned to fear failure. We're afraid of embarrassment, criticism, judgment, disappointment. And so we avoid taking risks. We avoid trying new things. We stay safely inside our comfort zones, thinking we're protecting ourselves from failure. But we're actually protecting ourselves from growth, opportunity, and progress. Because growth and comfort never coexist. Success and certainty never go together. If you want success, you must become comfortable with uncertainty. You must become willing, even eager, to fail. Now here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Instead of seeing failure as evidence of inadequacy, begin seeing it as proof that you're moving forward. See each failure as valuable feedback, as clear insight into what works and what doesn't. Every failure is a lesson, a powerful, personalized lesson about how to do better next time. Imagine how different your life would be if you actively sought out these lessons instead of hiding from them. Imagine the progress you could make if you truly embraced failure as your greatest teacher rather than your greatest fear. Mr. Schoaf used to say, if you haven't failed lately, you probably haven't tried anything worthwhile. Those words stayed with me after all these years because they reframed failure entirely. They taught me that failing isn't something to dread, it's something to appreciate. It's a clear sign you're pushing your limits, trying new things, exploring new territory. It's proof you're not stuck. The most dangerous place you can be isn't failing, it's stagnating. It's staying exactly where you are, never risking, never learning, never growing. Failure isn't the enemy. Stagnation is. Think about it. How would your decisions change if you weren't afraid of failing? What opportunities would you pursue? What risks would you take? What potential could you unlock? You'd become bolder, more adventurous, more creative, more successful, not because you never failed, but because you failed intentionally, constructively, and productively. This shift in perspective transforms everything. It transforms fear into courage, hesitation into action, and setbacks into stepping stones. Here's what you got to do. When you fail, don't ask, why did this happen to me? Instead, ask, what can this teach me? This simple shift in questioning changes your focus completely. Instead of feeling victimized by failure, you feel empowered by it. You begin actively searching for lessons, insights, and improvements. You see where adjustments need to be made, how you can improve, and what you can do differently next time. And with each lesson, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Consider some of the greatest success stories in history. Thomas Edison famously said, "I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He understood that each attempt, each failure was bringing him closer to success. Walt Disney was fired early in his career because he lacked imagination. Steve Jobs was once removed from the very company he founded. Yet each of these setbacks didn't define these people negatively. Instead, it fueled their determination, creativity, and eventual success. They saw failure as temporary, educational, and ultimately valuable. Today, I ask you to make the decision to rethink failure. Stop viewing it as something negative, and instead, embrace it as something powerful, necessary, and valuable. Every setback you encounter isn't pushing you away from success. It's guiding you toward it. Shift your perspective, embrace the lessons, and watch how failure becomes your greatest asset, your strongest ally, and your most powerful fuel for success. Learning from failure isn't automatic, it's intentional. It's not enough just to experience failure. You've got to analyze it, examine it, extract lessons from it. Because here's the truth. Failure by itself doesn't guarantee growth. Only evaluated failure leads to improvement. The moment you begin seeing your setbacks not as disappointments, but as opportunities for analysis, you unlock extraordinary power. You move from being a victim of circumstances to becoming a student of success. And that makes all the difference in the world. How exactly do you learn from your failures? The first step is simple yet powerful. Take full ownership. Accept and openly that the outcome wasn't what you wanted. Don't minimize it. Don't avoid it. And most importantly, don't blame external factors or other people. Own it fully and openly. When you take responsibility, you take back control. You empower yourself to learn, to improve, and ultimately to succeed next time. Ownership of failure is the foundation of growth. You see, you got to ask yourself, what specifically went wrong? Too often, people skip this step because it's uncomfortable. They don't want to dwell on mistakes or shortcomings, but clarity is essential. Look at your failure objectively, almost scientifically. What decisions led to this result? What actions or inactions contributed? Identify and specifically what happened. The clearer you become about exactly what went wrong, the more precise your improvements can be. Vague evaluations create vague improvements. Specific evaluations create specific improvements. And here's the next question. What can I learn from this? Remember, every failure holds valuable lessons if you're willing to look closely enough. Did you discover something about your preparation, your approach, your expectations, or your methods? Perhaps you learned something about people, circumstances, or timing. Failure, when analyzed, reveals incredibly valuable insights. It shows you precisely where your understanding was incomplete or your strategy insufficient. And once you see that you're equipped to improve dramatically. And make sure you write down what you've learned. Don't trust your memory. Document your insights. Writing forces clarity. It ensures you internalize lessons deeply. List the lessons learned from each failure so you can refer back to them later. Writing down your lessons isn't about dwelling on past mistakes. It's about investing in future success. The lessons you record today become powerful tools tomorrow, guiding your decisions, informing your actions, and protecting you from repeating past mistakes. Once you've identified your lessons, the next step is simple but critical. Apply what you've learned immediately. Don't wait, don't hesitate, take action. Make adjustments, change your approach, revise your strategy, and put your new understanding into practice right away. Immediate action reinforces your learning powerfully. It builds momentum. It proves to your mind that failure has value, that every setback genuinely makes you stronger and smarter. The faster you apply lessons, the faster you grow. Now, I'm about to give you something valuable I've discovered over many years of watching successful people. They don't just learn from their own failures. They actively learn from the failures of others. Successful people read biographies, study history, observe closely the mistakes and setbacks of others because they understand something powerful. Learning from your own failures is valuable, but learning from others' failures is even better. It accelerates your growth, multiplies your knowledge, and expands your wisdom dramatically. Don't limit yourself to your own experiences. Borrow lessons from others. It's one of the most powerful shortcuts to success you'll ever discover. Another critical of this is perspective. Failure is temporary, always. Too often, people let failure feel permanent, personal, and pervasive. They let it damage their confidence, identity and motivation. But successful people do the opposite. They maintain perspective. They see failure as an event, not an identity. They understand it's temporary, situational, and valuable. Maintaining the right perspective helps you stay resilient, focused, and confident, even during setbacks. Perspective ensures you learn lessons without losing heart. Finally, ask yourself, and intentionally, what will I do differently next time? Turn every failure into actionable steps. Don't stop at insights. Create practical, clear strategies for improvement. If your business plan failed, what exactly will you do differently next time? If your health goals stalled, what new strategy will you implement? If a relationship stumbled, what specifically will you change in the future? Turning insights into clear actions ensures continuous growth. It transforms your failures into precise instructions for future success. Today, I ask you to make the decision and deliberately. Every failure will become a source of valuable insight. Every setback will be analyzed honestly, openly, and constructively. Every lesson learned will be applied immediately. And as you do this consistently, you'll discover something powerful. Failure no longer stops you. It propels you forward. It fuels your progress, accelerates your growth, and ensures your success. Learning from failure isn't accidental. It's intentional, strategic, and incredibly powerful. Begin today and watch your setbacks become stepping stones. Your failures become your greatest fuel for future success. One of the most powerful perspectives you can adopt is understanding that setbacks aren't just problems. They're opportunities in disguise. A setback might feel painful or frustrating in the moment, but when you look closely, you'll always discover hidden potential. Setbacks are setups, powerful moments that redirect your path toward greater opportunity, clarity, and success. If you're willing to embrace them strategically, your setbacks can become some of your greatest stepping stones. But the key is intentionality. You must decide deliberately to turn challenges into opportunities rather than obstacles. Here's what you got to understand. Every setback has embedded within it a powerful opportunity, if you know how to look. Think about how many successful businesses were created because someone lost their job and decided to start something new. Think about how many inventions arose directly from failed experiments. Think about how many great relationships, breakthroughs, or opportunities emerged from situations that initially felt disappointing or painful. Setbacks often lead directly to setups for something greater, but you have to look beyond immediate disappointment to see the hidden potential. So, how exactly do you transform setbacks into setups practically? First, pause and deliberately shift your perspective. When a setback happens, your initial reaction might be frustration, disappointment, or anger. That's natural. But don't stay there. Quickly shift your mindset by asking yourself, where's the opportunity here? How can this setback actually move me forward? These simple but powerful questions refocus your attention away from problems and toward solutions. They prime your mind to find hidden opportunities within setbacks rather than simply dwelling on difficulties. Next, look closely at what the setback is teaching you. Setbacks often contain powerful insights you couldn't gain without experiencing them directly. Perhaps a setback reveals a gap in your skills, a weakness in your strategy, or an area where improvement is needed. Instead of resisting this knowledge, embrace it openly. The clearer you become about what the setback teaches you, the more effectively you can leverage it. Knowledge gained from setbacks isn't just valuable, it's essential. It's how you ensure the same setbacks don't repeat themselves in the future. You got to use these setbacks as moments for strategic adjustment. When a setback occurs, it's usually a signal that something needs changing. Your approach, your methods, your timing, or even your goals. Don't just view setbacks as obstacles. View them as guidance. Each setback points you toward better decisions, smarter actions, and clearer strategies. Think about a setback as a redirection, not rejection. It's guiding you to a better path, a clearer plan, or a more effective approach. The faster you adjust strategically after setbacks, the faster you turn them into genuine opportunities. And here's what's fascinating about successful people. They actively expect setbacks. They're never surprised when difficulties arise. Instead, they prepare for setbacks ahead of time, viewing them as inevitable and useful. Because they're expecting setbacks, they're not thrown off course when they happen. Instead, they immediately begin leveraging them positively. Expecting setbacks isn't pessimistic. It's practical. It prepares you mentally and emotionally to handle challenges constructively, proactively, and productively. When setbacks occur, successful people don't panic. They pivot. They adjust quickly, move forward decisively, and often achieve even greater success because of the setback. And here's the key. Setbacks often open doors you wouldn't otherwise have seen. Imagine losing a job or an opportunity you wanted desperately. Initially, it feels devastating, but soon a new opportunity emerges, one that's even better than the original. The setback wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It wasn't a loss, it was redirection. Setbacks clear space in your life for new opportunities. They remove obstacles you didn't even realize existed. If you're open, aware, and proactive, setbacks become powerful setups for incredible opportunities you might otherwise have missed. Think about it. Setbacks often create urgency. And urgency, when leveraged correctly, creates powerful action. After a setback, you become more focused, more intentional, and more determined. You're no longer passive or complacent. You're actively looking for solutions. Urgency moves you from waiting to working, from wishing to creating. Setbacks that create urgency are incredibly valuable because urgency is often the spark needed for genuine breakthroughs. If you embrace setbacks as catalysts for urgency, you'll quickly discover their hidden power. Now, this is essential. Setbacks provide clarity about what's truly important. When things go smoothly, it's easy to become distracted or unfocused. But setbacks force you to evaluate what's essential. They eliminate distractions, reinforce priorities, and sharpen your focus. Each setback you encounter provides clarity. Clarity about goals, strategies, relationships, or actions. When leveraged positively, clarity gained from setbacks becomes invaluable. It simplifies your decisions, strengthens your actions, and accelerates your progress. Setbacks clarify your path, making future decisions easier, clearer, and more effective. So I'm asking you to start intentionally viewing setbacks as setups. Embrace difficulties positively. Seek hidden opportunities intentionally. Use setbacks strategically to adjust, clarify, and create urgency. Each setback you encounter isn't a step backward, it's a powerful step forward. It's guiding you, shaping you, and preparing you for greater success. Your greatest achievements might be hidden in today's setbacks. Don't avoid them, leverage them. Your setbacks truly are your greatest setups for extraordinary success. One of the most powerful transformations you can experience in your life comes from cultivating a mindset of continuous improvement. It's the understanding that success isn't a destination. It's an ongoing process. It's the belief that no matter how good you are today, you can always become better tomorrow. And here's something fascinating I've discovered. Successful people never truly arrive at a place where they're completely satisfied. Instead, they're always striving, always improving, always reaching for a higher level of excellence. This mindset doesn't just drive success, it ensures success is sustained over a lifetime. Think about what continuous improvement truly means. It doesn't mean dissatisfaction or constant stress. Instead, it means curiosity, enthusiasm, and excitement about your own growth. It's the genuine belief that your potential isn't fixed, that your abilities can constantly expand, evolve, and improve. When you adopt a mindset of continuous improvement, every setback becomes valuable. Every failure is instructive, and every day offers a new chance to get better. This mindset transforms your approach to life completely, from reactive to proactive, from passive to intentional. So how do you practically develop this mindset of continuous improvement? First, commit deliberately to lifelong learning. Successful people are passionate learners. They're curious, open-minded, and always eager to discover new insights. They read consistently, ask questions frequently, and actively seek out knowledge. They don't assume they have all the answers. They assume there's always more to learn. Make continuous learning a daily habit. Even small actions, like reading 10 pages of a good book or listening to insightful content, accumulate powerfully over time. Lifelong learning fuels continuous improvement by consistently expanding your mind and your possibilities. Next, embrace feedback actively and constructively. Too often, people avoid feedback because they're afraid of criticism. But feedback is one of the most powerful tools for improvement available. It provides clarity, reveals blind spots, and accelerates growth dramatically. Actively seek feedback. Don't wait for it. When someone offers constructive criticism, don't become defensive. Become curious. Ask questions, explore deeply, and identify what you can improve. Embracing feedback transforms your approach from defensive to growth-oriented. It turns setbacks into immediate opportunities for improvement. And here's a powerful habit. Regularly reflect on your experiences. Reflection ensures that your experiences become insights. Without reflection, experiences are often wasted. They're simply repeated without growth. Successful people consistently pause to evaluate their experiences. What worked well? What didn't? What can you do differently next time? Reflection is intentional evaluation, turning every experience, especially setbacks, into powerful insights for growth. Make daily or weekly reflection a regular practice. It's simple, practical, and incredibly powerful for sustaining continuous improvement. Develop clear, measurable goals that keep you consistently improving. Continuous improvement thrives on clarity. If you don't know where you're going, it's difficult to make consistent progress. Set small, achievable, measurable goals regularly. Celebrate progress, not just final results. Each small milestone reinforces your commitment to continuous improvement. Clear goals provide direction, motivation, and momentum. They ensure your improvement is deliberate, strategic, and ongoing rather than accidental or random. And maintain flexibility in your approach. Continuous improvement requires adaptability. Sometimes the strategies or habits that served you well in the past become ineffective over time. Be willing to adjust, experiment, and adapt. Successful people aren't rigid, they're flexible. They continually test new approaches, adapt quickly to changing circumstances, and innovate regularly. Flexibility doesn't mean losing focus. It means being open to better ways of achieving your goals. Flexibility ensures your improvement is continuous, dynamic, and responsive to your growth and changing circumstances. Surround yourself intentionally with people committed to continuous improvement. Your environment dramatically influences your mindset and habits. When you're surrounded by people who value growth, learning, and improvement, continuous improvement becomes natural, automatic, and enjoyable. Seek out mentors, join groups focused on growth, and build relationships with people committed to improvement. Your environment either reinforces or undermines your mindset. Choose your relationships deliberately. Surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and support your continuous growth. So remember, setbacks are essential components of continuous improvement. If you're not experiencing occasional setbacks, you're probably not pushing yourself enough. View setbacks as feedback, not failures. Each setback provides valuable insight, highlights opportunities for improvement, and ensures your growth is continuous and dynamic. Setbacks don't stop continuous improvement, they sustain it. Embrace them positively, learn from them quickly, and move forward intentionally. And remember, never lose sight of why continuous improvement matters deeply. Improvement isn't just about external success. It's about fulfillment, joy, and personal satisfaction. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, continually evolving, growing, and reaching your highest potential. Continuous improvement ensures your success isn't temporary. It's sustainable, lifelong, and fulfilling. Today, embrace this mindset deliberately. Commit to lifelong learning. Actively seek feedback. Reflect regularly. Set clear goals. Maintain flexibility. And build a supportive environment. Your journey of continuous improvement begins right now. And with it comes extraordinary growth, achievement, and satisfaction. This is how you transform failure into fuel for success, challenging misconceptions, discovering hidden opportunities, and realizing the profound power contained within setbacks. Once you understand that failure isn't the opposite of success, it's an essential, integral part of success, your life will change. Your life will change dramatically the moment you stop avoiding failure and start embracing it. Your greatest opportunities often disguise themselves as setbacks. Your most powerful lessons often appear as mistakes. And your deepest growth always happens through adversity. Failure isn't something to escape, it's something to engage. Every setback you face isn't pushing you backward, it's propelling you forward. Every disappointment holds potential. Every difficulty contains opportunity. When you truly embrace this mindset, you become unstoppable. You begin using your setbacks intentionally, constructively, powerfully. Failure by itself doesn't lead to success. Only evaluated, analyzed, and leveraged failure creates genuine growth. Each time you face disappointment, immediately ask, what can this teach me? Every setback has something powerful to teach you. Something you couldn't learn any other way. Learn to view your failures as personalized lessons, specifically designed to reveal precisely what you need most at that moment. Every setback becomes valuable, every difficulty beneficial, and every failure instructive. When you approach life this way, your growth accelerates dramatically. And never forget the importance of resilience. Resilience isn't just about recovering from setbacks. It's about growing stronger because of them. Each time life tests you, you're building resilience. Every challenge strengthens your character. Every difficulty deepens your determination. Resilient people aren't fearless. They're simply courageous enough to act despite fear, to move forward despite doubt. They recognize that resilience isn't automatic. It's intentional. Build routines, maintain perspective, cultivate gratitude, and surround yourself with resilient influences. Each of these strategies reinforces your resilience, ensuring your setbacks never define you. They refine you. Every difficulty contains hidden opportunities, but they're only visible if you're intentionally looking for them. Setbacks redirect your path, clarify your priorities, create urgency, and reveal opportunities you might otherwise overlook. Don't see setbacks as obstacles. See them as guidance. Adjust quickly, respond strategically, and embrace challenges positively. When setbacks arise, your question isn't, why did this happen to me? It's, how can I use this powerfully? This simple shift in perspective transforms problems into possibilities, setbacks into stepping stones, and adversity into advantage. Growth isn't a destination, it's an ongoing journey. Your potential isn't fixed, it's flexible, expandable, limitless. Lifelong learning, active reflection, clear goals, and deliberate flexibility all contribute powerfully to your continuous growth. Embrace feedback openly, learn from setbacks actively, and continually refine your approach. Successful people aren't satisfied with temporary success. They're committed to continuous, lifelong improvement. This mindset ensures your achievements aren't momentary. They're permanent, sustainable, and deeply fulfilling. Today, you're faced with a simple yet powerful choice. Will failure stop you, or will it propel you forward? Will setbacks define you negatively, or refine you positively? The answer, and completely, is up to you. So you got to use all this stuff to transform every setback into fuel for extraordinary success. But knowledge without action is meaningless. Your understanding of these principles becomes valuable only when applied intentionally, deliberately, consistently. Don't leave these ideas as theories. Integrate them deeply into your daily actions, your mindset, your identity. Begin now. Begin today. Understand and completely that setbacks will come, challenges will appear, mistakes will happen. And each time they do, remind yourself deliberately that these aren't setbacks, they're setups. These aren't failures, they're powerful lessons. These aren't obstacles, they're opportunities. This mindset isn't about unrealistic positivity, it's about powerful practicality. It's about recognizing reality, responding intentionally, and leveraging setbacks constructively. Your setbacks aren't holding you back. They're preparing you, guiding you, and pushing you forward. Imagine vividly right now how your life transforms when you truly embrace this mindset. Picture how differently you'll respond to adversity. Imagine the courage, resilience, and clarity you'll experience. Feel deeply the confidence that comes from knowing setbacks can't stop you. They can only propel you forward. This isn't wishful thinking. It's strategic thinking. It's the mindset of successful people everywhere. And it's available to you now, today, immediately. Make the decision deliberately, passionately, right now. Embrace failure positively. Leverage setbacks strategically. Cultivate resilience intentionally. And commit fully to continuous improvement. Your greatest successes won't come despite your setbacks. They'll come precisely because of them. Your failures aren't your weaknesses. They're your greatest sources of strength. Today, choose intentionally to turn failure into your greatest fuel for success. And when you do, extraordinary success isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Begin now and never look back.